if I can reverse my position and be on the opposite side, let me be Donald Trump for a minute and say, people ask me for my advice all the time. Why, Don? Well, according to them, it's because of something that I just thought everyone could do, but apparently they can't. Look at it from the third person. Be unbiased. Be honest about it. Appraise yourself in an honest way. Now, this takes a lot of testing. In other words, if you don't diss yourself, or if you don't put yourself down, or call it like it is, when everyone else says this and you're saying that, I mean, you can have battles. I mean, that's kind of what life's about. Stand for your ground, be yourself, while the whole world disagrees with you. But after a while, if everyone's disagreeing with you on something, you kind of have to look at it from the third person. Or have them look at it from the third person. Because you can have all these debates all day about facts and figures and this and that. Now, I'm watching the reports on the media about the Mueller report, claiming now Republicans or right-wing news hosts, I don't want to say Republicans because I don't know what the American people think, that the Mueller report showing that there was no collusion. First of all, I said a week before the election that they were going to hack the internet. Now, who did I mean by they? I did not mean Russia. Russia had nothing to gain. Why would they back a president who didn't have a chance in winning? Oh, hold on a second. And then he won. I understand that. So me, I'm some Clinton supporter. This and that. I didn't vote deliberately. My vote was to go out of my way not to vote, because I couldn't believe that was the only two choices they gave us. Now, is that a conspiracy theory, or are Republicans also jumping on the bandwagon with the YouTube videos I've seen and now saying, well, no, it's a conspiracy against Trump, and then claiming that the Democrats are saying that no, Trump was running a collusion or a conspiracy against the U.S.? I said all along that I did not believe Russia was responsible for the hacking. Now, where did the hacking story come from? Now they're claiming Hillary Clinton made that story up. That's a lie. Okay, that was the breaking news that our country's at risk, that Russia hacked the election, and then people start running with the whole, and Trump colluded with them. I never believed that for a second. It makes no sense. We could never negotiate with the Russians. Why would they trust Trump? Nobody trusts Trump. Okay, nobody. He had a show called The Apprentice, and he copywrote the term "you're fired." He's not the guy that's going to give you a raise at your 6-month review at your job. That's pretty obvious to Republicans and Democrats. He's an asshole. Let's be honest about that. Honestly, let's be honest about that. Now, maybe we needed an asshole to run the country. I even gave you credit for that, because he was going to drain the moat. He sure as hell didn't do that. I thought we were going to get money out of Washington. We vote in the poster child of, I mean, what the hell? Why do you think that they come up with that stereotype term, a ginger? Now, what do you think they're talking about when they say that? They're talking about something very dark, not Gilligan's Island. Okay, I'm just letting you know that. Now, let me also let you know this. If you think the Democratic people are liberals out there are complaining, or out in California, where actually, if you look at the record, we have had just as many Republicans voted in by Californians as governor as Democrats. In fact, the last time we had a Democrat in before the current president, or actually Jerry Brown, was when we had Gray Davis. And we did a recall election, and we recalled him back, later to find out that it was fraudulent, that he was responsible for the power problems, that it actually was Bush's company, Enron, in Texas, that made us think that the governor had blown in deregulating the electric companies. So after we recall him, we got duped. A Democratic guy, we did this in California, since we're also leftists out here. And then we voted in Schwarzenegger, who was Republican. All right, just take a look at the record. It's on Wikipedia. It's wherever you want to look at it. The Republicans versus Democrats. In fact, Republicans used to dominate when it came to who Californians voted for. But the rest of the country thinks we always vote left, and we're just ignorant like that. Now, in the year 2000, somehow magically, Bush knew right away that he had won, what states he had won and what states he had lost. I think that's a big red flag for everyone. How do you know before the election's even over that the Florida results are a lie, and then to turn out after the recount, oh, wow, what a lucky guess, you won by a few thousand. And then your brother is the governor of the state. Now, if you want to talk about collusion potentially being there, it's there, but how dare you look at that? I'm just saying, That's where collusion probably existed. I don't think it did. In fact, Jeb Bush would have been the only good Bush probably to elect, and he didn't make it. That's just the way it goes. But my point being is, there's no doubt that election was very close. How is a country of billions of people coming down to 1,000 votes every time, as if this country is split down the middle that evenly? The odds of that are impossible. The only election that was not in dispute in the fact that election tallies were not disputed was Obama. Now, people were furious at this. Even Clinton was furious at Obama winning the election. We knew that. That's why we voted. The generation that's what? Tag name is what? Our vote doesn't count. So you're a little pissed off. We spit in your face and showed you, okay, we'll show you something. And we did it deliberately. We wouldn't have done it if it was a white guy. We just wanted to show you guys some bullshit. And now, again, the reason the Russian story is broken all over the media is not because Hillary Clinton said that. Don't believe that now. But it's there for you to look at. The CIA, everyone claimed that Russia did it. I always disagreed with that. But we knew something happened. I mean, at least one person could have predicted that with a 31% approval rating, maybe he could win the presidency in the election. With a 31% approval rating, how are you going to win? That was the day of the election. He has 31% approval in the country, but he got over 50% of the votes. That really is a stretch. In fact, they've even said that the Bernie Sanders voters, in being angry at Hillary, decided to go that far that they went from NAACP to Nazi. That's bullshit. That they basically that Trump got the Bernie Sanders vote. You're out of your fucking mind, dude. Even Republicans would say, wait a second. Those liberal motherfuckers did not vote for Trump. I mean, Bernie Sanders is as far left as you can get in that election, but he is too old. Yeah, isn't that ironic? No, it turns out the millennials were right, because the millennials were the ones who were supporting him. This is karma. We had the worst economic recession going on in 2008. Did you forget? Because that's on record. We had a country that was furious at Katrina, furious at fake WMDs in Iraq. We had the worst terrorist attack done on Bush's watch. One of the things we're trying to forget, and that's something that we want to erase from our memories. On the day of the election in 2008, it was John McCain versus Obama. Oh, the birth certificate thing. I know. Not realizing a birth certificate, anyone could fake that. We all did one in high school, and Trump must have known that. Because you can't prove or disprove a birth certificate. Whatever the State Department says when you want to be a president and checks it out, what the fuck does it matter what Trump thinks? He's a fucking millionaire. What the fuck does he know? Besides assholes. Then he spits on McCain's grave. Really? A war veteran like that? No Democrat would ever fucking do that. And yet people go out and say, well, whatever, he didn't mean it. Bullshit. He totally has dissed John McCain. And I can't believe that you... I mean, the funny thing is, these are the nationalists. I mean, you probably have the military voting for Trump because of their hate for the left. And I'm sitting here going like, don't try to pretend like we're hating on Trump like that. I'm going to call you out on that because that's a goddamn lie. Oh, why are you coming after him for some Russian collusion story? What are you talking about? No one in the country, even Trump, could believe he won the election. Now he's all pissed off saying, yes, we did. And he's opening the door for all kinds of evil shit to come into this country, basically banning Iran when we had a deal with them with the rest of the planet. Every other country has stood by that deal. Trump tears it up. Why? Because, well, we owe them $150 billion. Oh, Obama, that son of... No, it was their money. We stole their fucking money. They sold their fucking oil to us. We jacked their $150 billion. And a bunch of rednecks laugh at that. And Iran's pissed off because Trump tore up the deal. And then put the strictest sanctions ever issued on another country on Iran when they were complying 100% with the deal. No one disputes they were complying with the deal. Trump said, I could just negotiate a better plan. And I don't like Obama, so I'm going to tear it up. That's ignorant. On the day of the election in 2008, Americans were asked, what is the number one concern you have for the next president? What do you want out of the next president? Number one, with over 50%, was to avoid a depression because we were in a great economic recession. Okay, you don't remember that, do you? Or was that just overblown out of proportion? People thought we were going to be back in soup lines. Number one, avoid a depression. We did that. Okay, so the country was terrible at that point. Could have been worse, but terrible. Trump makes it up as if, oh yeah, we had all these problems. Yet, in retrospect, immigration from Mexico was down 67%. That's from Texas numbers and the rest of the country's numbers, Republican and Democratic institutions. That Latino immigration into the U.S., Trump, people, I even believed him. I thought, well, goddamn, I live in California. I haven't noticed this, but I guess it's a big problem. No, it's not. Apparently, it wasn't. Apparently, it's the first time since we were in the Iran-Contra deal. How ironic. And selling coke in the ghettos, Nicaragua. Remember that when we did? Okay, that's when we were at the peak of immigration. That stopped, and it's not even from Mexico. It was from Guatemala and Honduras. Well, they've corrected that in the propaganda. I know. When I went to build a wall, how did he know that there was going to be a bunch of Latinos at the border wall? Instead of sneaking in, they're going to say, "Hey, we're here, so you can see us now, and we want to come in now." That's never happened before. Why are we having people massed up at the wall? Something very evil is going on. Yes, very. Dark powers who back certain individuals will get certain individuals to play the role, play the fucking role, or else. That's Lucifer. Yeah, you thought the Clintons were Luciferian. You guys have very selective memories. The fact of the matter is, getting out of Iraq was also number 2. Number 3, do something about what? Healthcare. And then the word obstructionism came up when what? When literally the Republicans voted no against so many Democratic bills that at one point, this is a true fact, they voted no on their own bill because they had stamped so many bills no without even looking at them. They assumed it was an Obama bill. And so they demanded that their bill be brought back to re-vote on it because they didn't realize, we didn't realize it was a Republican bill. And they had voted no on it. The next day they found out and they said, we want a second try. We thought that was Obama's bill. We didn't read it yet. We didn't know it was ours. And the thing is, these are nationalists, supposed Americans. And yet, in my opinion, that's domestic terrorism. When we're at an economic crisis, when we're at a fucking war we should have never been in, never apologized for, they should be happy we just set them free, right? 1 million Iraqis are dead, and it's now a toxic waste dump of uranium, for God's sake. And I'm not Greenpeace, that's a fact. And then we're talking about how, dude, these motherfucking bankers, and you guys were on the ship with that. We were dissing Clinton. We were dissing Obama and the elites, saying they're going to try to go into Iran and Syria. Yeah, that's right, let's stop these fucking mega Illuminati liberals. Yeah, whatever, bro. And now Trump gets into office, and you just forgot about that. When Trump says Iran's doing shit, even though the evidence is to the opposite, you just suck his dick. You got to come out of the closet and say something. Because if you're going to go down like that, you would literally taking the country down. So I'm going to give you an economic prediction. Don't say, because I'm going to tell you right now what you're going to say, and you already know this. This is what's so disappointing about you Americans. In 2-3 years, when we're in a bad fucking situation, you can say, it's because they voted in it wasn't this way when Trump was in office. Bullshit. The chickens will come home to roost, just like Malcolm X said, man. That's the way it always runs. You know, no president, the jobs go up the day you get into office. That's not the result of you. That's a residual echo impact of the previous president, you dumb fuck. If you're Republican or Democrat. So when jobs go up 2 years after Trump leaves, yes, that would be Trump's credit. That's the way it works. And you know that, but you play the role because of hate. Well, you're going to take the goddamn country down. It's too late to come back. But just so you know, we know whose fault it is. And it's ironically these goddamn racist, hate-filled rednecks that probably don't make up the bulk of the Republican Party. And yes, the goddamn media shows that all the time. They're making a mistake. That's what we say about media truth. They're not showing the truth when they show haters on there. Because what they're doing is telling you that all the liberals hate Republicans and all the Republicans hate the liberals. No, we're saying we hate you guys labeling us as Republicans and liberals. Or independents. That's part of the goddamn game that some greater power that's probably not even in the country or even on the planet is playing us with. Phew, come on, you know it's true.